Good evening, ladies. The hair has been cut and we are strapped and ready to go. It's West Ham's review this season, and they have been relegated from the Premier League. 14-year stint, I believe, in the league, something like that. Was it more than that? I don't care. They've gone down. So, this is my review of West Ham's time in the Premier League. This will be coming out on the Substack as well. I'll be writing the article shortly after I release this video. But yeah, not a good year for the boys. Getting relegated is never nice. I mean, 39 points is a lot to go down with, and it should have been these dickheads instead. But um, you live and you learn. So let's get straight into it right now. Starting with the performance for West Ham this season, and it's not going to be a high number in the slightest. I mean, look at his run to start the season, man. This is Graham Potter form right here, and I mean, the fact that this man was ever in charge of this football club just demonstrates the shit that they were in per se. I don't remember particularly where it was when he got sacked, but yeah, just look at how dire all of this is. So much red, not enough green. This is the turning point for me for their season. This game really shot a spark up their arse, from what I remember. The performance from the West Ham team in that game was fucking awful. Like, that was probably one of the worst individual performances I've seen from a team this season. And Alan Shearer on Match of the Day, he was scathing in his review, and he was completely right to be so, because mate, they were just tragic. It was an absolute horror show, everything that went on in this game, and it kind of seemed to swing them round a bit. Okay, look at here, the end of Jan. After that, they only lost 2 games in the league. They're picking up wins against Burnley, Sunderland, Spurs. So it's now a loss against Chelsea in unfortunate circumstances. In this game against Forest, yeah, I remember this. This was pretty unlucky, the Gibbs White, the late penalty. But yeah, they looked all right. Performance-wise, they definitely improved after that point. I mean, this was a weird game. You can't really fault them for this game. This was just a bit strange. Um, but yeah, they like this win. They were decent against Fulham. A good performance against City. We beat them. No, I can ignore that. But yeah, then they batter Wolves. They beat They don't beat West Ham. They are with them. They beat Everton, and then this is just such a poor collapse here. Like, I know this win for Arsenal is very under acrimonious circumstances, but this 3-0 to Brentford, this is kind of where you can say the season started to really curtail, because at this point you move it into Spurs' hands, and Spurs have been in the relegation zone at this point. Like, they've been in 18th place, and I mean, a win on the final day did nothing overall for them, but they got relegated. So honestly, you can't say it wasn't deserved. Again, I'm going to bring you back to this run of form here. Look how bad they start. I remember this game as well. They were so ass. Like, they looked so tragic in this game. Look at some of these, like Max Kilman, Todibo, again at the back. Like, this is such a poor lineup. This team has actually changed a lot in this season. That is a bit crazy. And honestly, this is a distinctly average Chelsea lineup. You've got Delap in there, you've got Tosin, you've got Sanchez, you've got Gusto. These aren't names that inspire a lot of confidence. You've got Pedro Neto in there. Yes, you've got good players. You've got Pedro, you've got world-class Caicedo, you've got Fernandez in there, you've got Esteval, one of the best young players in the world. But not a 5-1 winning team. This is a team that should not be beating you 5-1, and they did, and it really set a precedent there for me. What am I doing? Jesus Christ, I'm panicking a little bit. Like, games like this, I mean, we know how poor Spurs went on to be. Obviously, they were doing all right at the time, but that's a poor result there. And just losses like that. I mean, this is a Brentford team that were not anywhere near the European chasing team at that time. They were a mid-table team at the point, and that's not a team you can really afford to be losing to. Like, this is a United team in awful form here, and then, yeah, just really not making the London Stadium a fortress in the slightest. Like, their performance has been really poor this year, and I'm gonna give them a 1 out of 10. I know it's lower than Burnley, even though they finished above them, but the expectation on a club like West Ham is so much higher. West Ham should not be getting relegated. This is a team that should be in the Premier League every season that they play in. You know what I'm saying? Um, and they're not going to be next year, which is a pretty devastating failure on their behalf. Um, so yeah, I don't think you can really argue the fact that they've got a 1 out of 10. I mean, obviously they haven't looked as bad as Burnley have at times. Like, I mean, you can look at games like this Sunderland game when they kind of put them in a pack. Like they were really good in that one. And then flick on through here, they absolutely pieced up Wolves. They looked really good in this game. This is where it kind of all linked in for Nuno's men. But either there, the result is just bad. It's just bad, and it's more of a bad result for West Ham than it is for Burnley, and both have gone down. They haven't finished last, so it is going to be a 1 out of 10 for me for West Ham in terms of performance wise. Starting the departures here first, I think Kudus had to go. He was poor last season, and it was clear that he didn't want to be there anymore. His heart was elsewhere, and you got a lot of money for him in terms of his transfer exit. Paqueta was having a poor year, acrimonious circumstances for his gambling involvements, and yeah, he needed to go. I really think he needed to go. Get that kind of negative. I think once he left, they actually started to look a bit better. So the fact that he's left, I think, is a benefit there for West Ham. This is where it starts to make no sense to me. Luis Guilherme played 120 Premier League minutes this season. This is a guy that you could use, man. He's an exciting young player. He got minutes in Portugal and in the Portuguese Cup. Obviously, his output isn't fantastic, but he's an exciting young player. That's what I'll say it again. He's an exciting young player for the hat trick. Exciting young player. Exciting young player. Exciting young player. But these kind of boys can make a difference, and they've lost money on Guilherme, which I mean, it's just poor in itself. But like, that's someone that could have come off the bench with 55 minutes to go. Give him 35 to run around, get the defence tired, and he can get at someone, we can draw a foul, get a yellow card here or there. That's the kind of thing you want. Maybe score a goal or two. Um, just people like Ings leaving on a free, Fulker going out on loan, stuff like that. It's just poor business. It really is poor business. Rodriguez going out on a free, Kufal free, stuff like that. Edson Alvarez being loaned out. For me, I didn't think he was anything like bad per se, but I think he could have done a job next to Fernandez. Um, the fact that Max Kilman didn't leave the club in January is poor. But I'm going to go up here, and there are some positives here. Matheus Fernandez, great signing. He's been amazing this season. He's been very, very good. Tati Castellanos surprised me. I thought he was going to be a lot worse than he was. And you know what? Fair play, Tati. You proved me wrong. You did prove me wrong. I thought Tati Castellanos was going to be a poor signing. I saw the 30 million price tag. I saw the average goal return in Lazio. And I thought, I'm not a fan. I see this West Ham signing so many times before. It's players doing all right, and I can look literally. I can see one here in Danny Ings. I can see one here in Nicholas Füllkrug. Um, but yeah, Castellanos was a good signing. Malik Diouf, big fan. A very raw left back, not as good defensively as he is attacking wise, but I think there's definitely a player to be harnessed there. I think he'd be great at Palace, in that three back system. Amarim would have loved Magic Malik Diouf as well. Hermansen coming to his own towards the end of the year, putting some good performances, but started obviously very slow. What Kyle Walker Peters on a free is all right. Callum Wilson on a free is fine. Magassa was all right as well. I thought he looked decent in the middle part of the season, and Disassi I thought was okay on loan. This is where the ass starts to come into play. £40 million on Todibo, and he wants to leave already. That's so bad. That is just so instinctive of West Ham to do. This is such a West Ham signing, and he's going to go this season for about 15 million quid. I call it now. If he goes for anything more than 25 mil, I will be very, very surprised. Let me tell you that. Pablo, awful. Doesn't give me any signs really. Looked alright in the Wolves game, but I would have looked alright in that Wolves game. He was him and Castellanos. The fact that they spent 50 million on these two players alone is just mental. I know Castellanos was alright, but there's so much money that they've used there. Traore, I know it was a little fee, but he did nothing. Like he had no impact. Igor Hewler, I forgot, was actually there. What has he done this year for West Ham? There you go, exactly. And everyone else is just a who's who of nothing really. It's not good in terms of the overall balance. I'm giving them a 4 out of 10 because the highs are very high. The highs in Fernandez are good, Malik Diouf good, Castellanos good, but the lows to Debo awful, Pablo awful, Traore poor, um, Julio who, and at the end of the day, you can't give them that high ratings because got relegated. You know, they went down. So you can't be nice to these players at the end of the day when they've been relegated. There's a few that you look at and you think, okay, there's sparks there, but I mean, they've gone down at the end of the day, so they clearly haven't done enough to help the cause out. So it is a 4 out of 10 overall there for the Hammers, for the Irons. In terms of their prospects next season, get used to seeing these boys' names on the rumour mill because you are not going to see a lot of these playing for your football club next season. Believe you me. I can just point to a few people: Hermansen gone, Wan-Bissaka gone, Kilman gone, Disasi gone, Mafropanos gone, Tadillo gone, Diouf gone, Fernandez definitely gone, Somerville gone, Wilson gone, Castellanos and Pablo gone. I think the majority of these players are going to leave this club. I don't see someone like Wan-Bissaka. He's 28 years old. He's in the prime of his career. Max Kilman, 29, is in the prime of his career, even though he's shit. I don't see players like this sticking around. Not at all. I don't see someone like Fernandez. Fernandez definitely will not stick around. He will be hot property. I think Bowen said he will stay, so that's nice of the geezer. Somerville might be a bit. I might have jumped the gun a little bit there. I think he might stay, but I say that because he did so well in the Championship for Leeds that he knows that he can perform at that level. Wilson, maybe of his age, might stay, but these two are going. And I mean, Pablo, good riddance, but Cassianos would do disgraceful things to the Championship. But you're also going to lose money on these. Look, it's 4 million value, for God's sake. I don't pay much attention to websites in terms of what they say, but come on, man, 4 million. It's less than Dharma Traore. There's going to be a lot of work done at West Ham next season. But the good thing is, you're going to have the money to do it. You're a big club. You've got a lot of pull power in there. I remember when we went down Villa, we signed a lot of players. So I believe something similar will happen with West Ham. You'd hope to a slightly more successful degree than we did. I'd be very surprised if West Ham finished in 13th. Um, but yeah, I think for me they're the most likely of the teams to go up out of all the teams that have been relegated. I think West Ham are the most likely to go up and probably win the league, just because I mean if you keep some of these names, like if I just go through this list, if you keep like Diouf, if you keep Mavropanos, if you keep even like Magassa, Somerville, Bowen, these players are gonna do filthy things in the Championship. And you only really need to keep a few of those, and you are looking Gucci for next year. In terms of improvements, you're definitely looking at the back. He has to go. Get him gone. He really, really needs to leave the club. You need to improve in the defence. Uh, Maybe even a whole overhaul because these are boys that are getting on a little bit. There's not a lot of youth in this West Ham defence. And then you're looking up top again, I guess. If you assume that Castellanos goes, then you're looking for a new striker. Um, that's the two main areas I think. In midfield as well, because you know some players are going to go in here. You know he's leaving the club. But outside of that, it is just replacing where you can, and I think West Ham are in a better position to do it than the other promoted teams are. So I'm going to give them 4 out of 10 prospects for next season. I think they'll win the league. I think they're the early punters' favourites to win the league. I wouldn't be surprised if the odds for them winning the league were really low, because they are just the big name. They're the big dog in a small pond, and you would expect them to be doing well this next coming season in the Championship. So yeah, it's going to be a 4 out of 10 for me for West Ham for the prospects. Also, I didn't say it at the time, but you've got a gaffer who can do well in the Championship as well. And here they compare to the other teams so far. Burnley were the best performing team so far this year in the Premier League. 1 point here, West Ham, and then they go straight to the top with 9 points compared to Burnley's 8 and Wolves' 6. So slight improvements, and then those numbers are going to go straight back down when you get the next team. I can't wait for that video, but yeah, thank you very much for watching this, boys. I will link my Substack in the description, and it is in the link of the YouTube. Give me a check out, and it's been a pleasure, boys. Have a good one. Ta-da.